Hi, I'm Tyler Peterson. I teach the frequency of leadership, and this is the December alignment where I help leaders step into their power so they can create with less effort and more ease. So this month, we're going to be focused on becoming more aware of frequency, this skill of awareness of our frequency and the frequency all around us. And this is important. This is really important because we create our realities with our frequency. This is how we create everything, through our individual frequencies. It's emanating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 100% of the time. We can't turn it off. So becoming more aware of our frequency means we can begin creating intentionally exactly what we want with less effort and more ease. So how do we go about doing this? Well, let me give you a few examples of what I mean by frequency. This is a skill we all have, and it's innate to us. We just want to develop this skill even further and become more fluent with the skill so we have a higher level of mastery. So here's a scenario. You open a door and you walk into a room full of people, and immediately when you step in there, you can feel tension, you can feel anxiety, you can feel unease. Everyone's on edge in this room, and you just feel it immediately when you walk into the room. So we've all had an experience like this. We don't know what happened in the moments before we entered the room. Whatever transpired, it has created this frequency of anxiety, unease, tension. I can feel that in my body right now. So similar example, different set of circumstances. You open the door, step into a room full of people, and in this situation, you feel warmth and love and joy and maybe even like a laughter. Maybe somebody's laughing in the room in a very deep, beautiful, satisfying way. And you don't know what happened, but you can feel all this emotion in the room, this frequency. And it's clear, whatever happened, something extraordinarily beautiful just transpired in the moments before you walked into the room. And you can feel that in your body. So we've all had experiences like this too. So a different example, this one, you're talking to somebody one-on-one and they're describing something to you or telling you about something, but what you're feeling from them is completely the opposite of what they want you to believe or think or feel based on what they're saying. So there's a dissonance there. We might say they're not being genuine or they're being inauthentic. Whatever word we use for this, we can feel this dissonance between the frequency we're feeling from them and the things they're saying that they're asking us to mentally compute and kind of draw a conclusion about. There's a dissonance. And because it's so stark, it really stands out, and we're aware of that frequency in that moment. In the first two examples, the room full of people, the reason we were able to feel those frequencies, or the reason we are able to feel those frequencies, is because there's amplitude. There are a number of people involved in holding that same frequency in those scenarios, so it amplifies, it turns up the volume to a really high level of those frequencies. In all three of these scenarios, whether it's through amplitude or dissonance, we can't miss the frequency. It's just so obvious that we become aware of it. We feel it in our bodies. So those are great examples. The thing is, we all have our individual frequency. Whether we want to develop the skill to sense our own frequency, we want to develop the skill to be able to sense the frequencies of others. But it's more than just that. Media that we consume, whether it's the music we're listening to, a podcast, a book, a documentary, a movie, the evening news, a journal or an article, a report, all of it has a frequency to it. And we want to become more discerning about what that frequency is that we're feeling from the things we're consuming in our life. And we want to do this so we can decide, is this a frequency I want to go into resonance with? Do I want to feel this same frequency and therefore create my reality because of this frequency? And in some cases, we want to. It could be a lovely, high, joyful frequency. And it's like, absolutely, I want more of this in my life. I am going to come into resonance with this frequency and amplify it and create it in my life. And at other times, it's a clear no. It's like, no way. This person, this article, this news report, it thinks it's trying to inform me, but what's really going on is I'm just feeling fear. It wants me to feel fear in this moment. And I want to be informed. That's wonderful, but I don't have to be fearful of the information. I want to take action. I want to create something. I want to help solve this problem in some way. And if I'm in a state of fear, then I'm paralyzed and I'm unable to do that. So in that scenario, you would decide, or you might decide, I don't want to go into resonance with that frequency. I am deliberately choosing this other frequency and going to move in that direction. So all of that is very powerful. You're standing in your power when you're aware of frequency and you're making a conscious choice about the frequency you want to hold. So this is the skill. We want to develop this, right? This is an ability we all have, and we just want to focus on it to become more masterful with this skill. So how do we do this? What's the trick? Well, the first thing is just becoming aware that this is going on. So hopefully this video has helped you with that, right? We can check that box. The next thing is, it's like any skill, it's practicing it. It's the only way. There are no silver bullets to developing any skill in life. It's just dedicating a little time on a regular basis to exercise it. So a great way of doing this is throughout your day, taking a moment. You could put a timer on your phone. You could say, I'll do this in the morning when I wake up, at lunch, and at dinner time, or before I go to bed. Whatever works for you to build your skill, or to develop a habit rather. Do that. And what you want to do is just check in, like, what's my frequency? You want to take a moment, get quiet, and just feel, what's the frequency I'm holding right now? And what's the state of my body? What's my mental state? What's my emotional state? And just kind of take note of it. And you'll notice throughout your day, nobody can hold the same frequency throughout the entire day. That's not how we're built. It's always fluctuating. It's always changing. And that's fine. So as you check in and you do this noticing exercise, you're going to notice your frequency is different all throughout the day. And you might notice in the afternoon that you're feeling a lower frequency than you were first thing in the morning. Maybe you've had a series of challenging or long meetings and you're just tired. Or maybe there was some difficult news or project that's not going according to plan and you have to kind of reassess. You can feel in your body what your frequency is like. And when you're aware of that, when you know that, you can then make the decision, okay, well, if I'm creating with my frequency, what frequency do I want to hold or what I need to hold to create the thing I'm desiring to create? So it's difficult to create when we're feeling fear or we're feeling down or low. That's fine that we're feeling that way. We're not rejecting it or ignoring it. We're taking it in as a bit of data so we can discern and decide for ourselves, make a choice, stand in our power of choice. What frequency do I want to hold or need to hold in order to create the things I want to create, both for myself and in the world? So this is the practice. It's a noticing practice and developing the skill. I encourage you to do this with yourself in particular, particularly throughout the day on a regular basis. It is so critical to helping us understand our own frequency so we can create our own reality. But you can also do this with other people. Just tune in. Maybe you're having a conversation with a person. Maybe you're just observing an interaction. Maybe you're just observing somebody, standing around, right? We can tune in and feel their frequency. We can start to discern or get a sense of what their frequency is like. Again, we can do this with media, music, movies, television, the news, articles, reports, anything. There's a frequency there. We can tune in and discern what is that frequency. Now, a word of caution or something that I want to make really clear here. This is not a mental activity. We're not doing this from our human mind. When we're in our human mind, it's so easy for us to create judgments, to assess, to evaluate. We're impartial. And that's just a human activity based frankly, it all kind of comes down to a sense of separation from our divinity, from source, not realizing that that is what we are and that is what everyone and everything is. And when we do realize that, there is no judgment, right? So when you're noticing your frequency or the frequency of others, it's really important that you not do this as a mental activity. You're doing this as a feeling activity. You're not in your human mind. You're being open and receptive and feeling what's happening inside of you or what's happening with another person or this piece of media that you're consuming. And that's us stepping into our divine mind, this other aspect of ourselves. In our divine mind, there aren't these filters of being partial or these filters of judgment or evaluation or assessment. We just simply see things as they are, as information, as data. We're very neutral and sort of observational so that we can decide, taking this in and decide for ourselves what we want to create, what course of action we'd like to take for ourselves. So if you need to move into your divine mind, if you're having a hard time getting out of your human mind, that's fine. This is a practice as well. Just do the heart centering exercise. You can check out one of my earlier videos where I talk about this. Bringing your awareness to your heart center. That's a direct connection to our divine mind, where we don't experience any of these limitations or filters of the human mind. So from that place, once you're heart-centered, once you're in your divine mind, it's much easier to be open and receptive and feel the frequency, both your own and other people's and media, again, as I was referring to. And we don't have to have a high level of precision initially with what we think the frequency is. It's more just getting a sense. And over time, as you develop this skill, you'll become more trusting in what you're sensing. You realize, I'm in my divine mind, and I'm sensing and feeling these things. And you'll get validation through your experience, like, oh yeah, I actually was aware of that. I knew of that. And now I'm seeing this action out in the world that's validating what I was sensing and feeling. And you'll develop this discernment to know when you're in your human mind versus your divine mind. So this is a few other practices involved here, but again, to sense frequency, to become a master of this, we really just have to slow down a little bit and start to notice and to be open and receptive and feel both within ourselves what's happening, feel what we're picking up from other people or our environment. Okay, so this is an innate skill. We all have it. I highly encourage you to begin practicing this so that you can step into your power as a leader and as a creator to begin creating the things you want, again, with less effort and more ease. I hope this video has helped you. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe to this channel and also head over to my website, thefrequencyofleadership.com, and sign up for our newsletter where we'll share on a regular basis free resources like this and other bits of information that would be really supportive to you. You can also receive the free Frequency of Leadership Essentials, which covers all the basics to help you understand the frequency of leadership. Okay, so with that, let's shift over to the alignment. And if you're new to an alignment, this is the portion of this video where I channel energy. And the process is I'll guide us into a lightly guided meditation. And after a minute or two, I'll say, I'm opening up to the channel, and I'll call us back in 15 minutes. And from that point forward, I'm quiet. I don't speak any longer. My role really is as a bridge. I just open to these energies so that they can flow through and connect with you directly. And I just step out of the way to facilitate that connection. And these energies, they're intelligent. They read your frequency and they help to elevate your frequency. They help you to have the experience of a higher frequency, of coming into greater alignment with your divinity, an experience of standing in your power, standing in your divinity. It's an amazing experience. I hope you enjoy it. You may experience a number of different things. You might feel energy or sense energy in or around you. You might feel things physically. You might have thoughts or memories come up. You might feel different emotions. The energies really support us on all these different levels. So your experience could be any number of things. And the other thing is, you could do this alignment several times. And each time you do it, you may feel something very different. And that's okay. the energies are reading you in the moment and supporting you to have whatever experience would be of the highest service to you in that very moment. So your role in all of this is to just be relaxed, physically relaxed, whether you're sitting up or laying down. You don't want your body being achy and calling your attention away. And then to have a relaxed mind and to be present to the moment so you can be open and receptive to these energies. That's it. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. Just relax and enjoy the experience. Okay, so let's hop into it. So before I start, I just want to ask your permission to do this alignment. And if I have your permission, go ahead and please say yes out loud or yes quietly inside to yourself. Okay, let's do it. I'd just like to invite you to close your eyes and let's bring our attention to our breathing. So breathing in through our nose and a longer, slower exhale out through our mouth. And just do this 2 or 3 times, finding your own rhythm. In through your nose, longer, slower exhale out through your mouth. And now let's bring our awareness to our grounding. Let's ground ourselves. And we can do that by feeling the physical contact between our body and earth. So tune into that, your feet on the floor, your body laying down, the contact it has. Just sense that for a moment. And then taking that sense of connection even further and opening up and feeling a direct connection between you all the way down to the center of Earth, and in return all the way from the center of Earth back up to you. Feel this flow of energy, or sense or know this continuous, unending, energetic connection we have with Earth. And just be open to it. Allow Earth to love you unconditionally and to hold you. And now let's bring our awareness up to our heart centers. And just rest your awareness there. And just set the intention to rest your awareness in your heart center. And if it's helpful, you can bring to mind an image of a wild animal, an image of nature, really anything that's just naturally beautiful out in nature. This helps us move into our heart center. And now just setting a couple of intentions. And the first intention is simply to be present to this experience. And I encourage you to say that out loud. I am present to this experience. And then setting our second and final intention, and that is to be open to receive all that is for my highest good. And again, I encourage you to say that out loud. I am open to receive all that is for my highest good. Okay, I'm going to open to the channel now, and I'll call us back in 15 minutes. So here we go. Come on back. That's the end of the alignment. I hope you had a beautiful experience and that it benefits you in these coming days, the coming week. Give it a couple days to fully land and integrate into your body, and be easy on your body, your system, in your life if that's needed, if you sense that. Okay, that's it for this month of December. I wish you well, and I look forward to being with you again in January. Have a wonderful month. Take care. Bye.